Hello, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Carole. This is my channel Sew Carole, and it is #Friday Sews. And apart from saying a thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting #Friday Sews, I'm going to get straight in to talking about my main sew this week, because I find what videos I like the best are the show and tell videos. That's what I love. So I'm going to get straight on to talking about this dress I made this week. Now, this is New Look 6619. It's no stranger to me. I've made it a few times and it looks dreadful on the front. I know it looks dreadful on the front, but I have made it a few times. But what I wanted to do was replace a version I made a couple of years ago. The colour was always a bit for me. The fabric was a very cheap viscose linen, and it is really, really thin now. So the great thing about this pattern is playing with the stripes, having them one direction, then the other direction, and then the band at the bottom, just like that version there. So I got myself some more stripy linen fabric and off I went. I just want to say, which I haven't mentioned in the video before, it does come with pockets. I've given up putting pockets in this. They just stick out on the hips. They're not man enough to actually put anything in, like a phone or anything, and it just drags the dress down. So do you know what? I've left off the pockets this time round. Now, as I said, I've made this many times before. It was cut to a 10. I have gone out of the sizing to where I think the next size would be. So it's cut slightly larger, but it fits me and it's worked perfectly. So I'm going to put some footage in now of my journey making this time round and how I get this pattern to fit me the best. So I've sewn shoulder seams front to back. I just wanted to show you and also show myself when I look back at this footage whether I need to bring in the back or not. So ignore the fact that it looks like a mini dress at the moment. There is a bit to go, hemband to go at the bottom, so it's a little short, but here we have it. Now I'm going to put buttons all the way down that placket to bring that in because I've got quite a narrow back, but normally it's a bit sort of squared off here. And I just bring it in slightly with fisheye darts, and I can't decide whether to do it this time or not because it doesn't look too bad. So as I say, when I see this footage back, I will know what to do. But I kind of like it, but obviously it's got to be a little bit longer, hasn't it? I'm going to use my mannequin today. I don't often use it. So I put it on my mannequin, which it's kind of my size, but it's not brilliant. It's not my shape, but it will help me kind of put these darts in. This is the back. Obviously it's on inside out. This is the yoke, and because it gaps like that, I think I'm going to put I'm not going to put buttonholes. I'm just going to put fake buttons down there, 3 fake buttons. So as you can see, obviously I haven't finished my seams yet. It is quite kind of gappy there, and I think it looks slightly better just with some fisheye darts, which I'm going to do. Now, brilliantly, this is stripy, isn't it? And I can follow the lines to make sure they're straight. So I'm going to eyeball it, as I do very often. So sort of starting from about there where it starts to curve in a bit, and then I'll probably finish about here. Just put some fisheye darts in. I'm on my knees now to show you this. So I put 2 pins here, just down. In actual fact, it turns out at about 2 inches down. And then I put 2 pins here, followed these symmetrical lines, and the distance is 7.5 inches. So that's going to be the length of my darts, and I'm going to bring them in no more at that fattest point, because fisheye darts go thin, fat, thin. The fattest point is going to be, I would say, about 1.5 centimetres, no more than that. so it will be sort of like that at the fattest point, and then obviously go out. What I didn't explain before is I can actually get this on without having to undo any buttons, so that's good. That's why I was going to sew the buttons on rather than do a buttonhole. Okay, dancer in, see what you think. I think it's just giving it a better shape than looking very sort of baggy at the back. So they start up here and end here. Yeah, I think that just gives it a bit more of a curve, a bit more flattering. Right, hem these as well, and then I'm done. So the finished make, I have to say I am really pleased with this. I got the sizing just right. I did make it a little narrow at the top because it's only sort of the main bit that I need it to be that bit bigger. I pinched in the neckline. Now I've talked about this many times before, just where you make a slit in the front piece and then swivel it over by 1 centimetre. I keep talking about that, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But yeah, I did do that. I also took 2 inches off the length. That was touch and go. I think I'll do 1.5 inches next time. But because it is, as you can see, it's not flattering when it's that much down on the knees, so no, not for me. So I took 2 inches off. I think that is all the things I made apart from the fisheye darts. Obviously I'm modelling it for you. Now I know I say I don't wear dresses very often, but this to me is such a casual little thing just to put on. If it's really warm, put it on and then just go out with some I wanted to say daps then, which is I grew up in Bristol in the south coast and we used to call those white pumps daps. So I'm really sorry, I nearly said that then. So white pumps or white trainers. So yeah, it's just a fun little light dress for when it's really warm. And yeah, I'm really pleased with it. So a dress this week. What am I wearing this week? That's another traditional thing we always say on #FridaySews. There's a reason we say that, and there's a reason we try and wear something for you, because it's another version of show and tell, showing you things that we've made, because actually seeing what people have made up, to me, is the most important thing, because that's what gives us the ideas and inspiration. Now, you're gonna laugh, but this top I actually made in a viscose linen last year, and it was a mashup between my 2 favourite. And it's funny because I was looking in my wardrobe and I thought this would be a great one to show you. So the body of it was 6217, but when I made it, I felt it needed something different. So I added a neckband and some really narrow bands here. So this is a woven, don't forget I use these for knit as well. And I felt it needed kind of the addition of the pocket. And then I put this little orange button on. I absolutely love this. So it's got the shape of that one where it curves down. You've got sort of adapted the sleeves a bit and the neckband there. Do you know the only thing I didn't do with this is I didn't do my pinch, did I? So it's just on the edge for me, but I absolutely love this. It's so lightweight and lovely. So that was a mashup this time of my 2 favourite patterns. So what else have I been sewing this week? I talked about that I had some leftover denim from a denim skirt I made. It's very lightweight denim. And I wanted to make a hat, and I have indeed. And every time I make a hat on this channel, I say, I know hats don't suit me, but we all need hats. We need hats. So we have the bucket hat here, which I'm really pleased with. Got kind of jazzy inside, but nice brim. I love a wide brim because then I can read. It's just so much nicer. And I had some more left over, so I made the Learn, Create, Sew fanny pack from it. As you can see, I kind of quilted the denim on this. Blue zip, boring old blue zip, and inside, and I added a little zip pocket as well in there. So both of these patterns are actually free patterns. So that's the Elbe Sorrento hat, which I've used again and again now. It fits me spot on and I'm really pleased with it. The funny thing is, I absolutely love doing all these top stitching lines around the outside. I don't know what it is, I just love it. You go round and round. That's my enjoyable bit for me. This is also a free, it's got a tutorial actually on YouTube, Learn Create. So I'll put both the links down below. Again, a free pattern you can just download. Changes I make to it are indeed the fact that I put batting inside it to give it a bit more body, and I add a little zip pocket. This one is a cheat version of a zip pocket where you just make it and then sew it on, top stitch it on, obviously before you put the whole thing together. So I think I got a couple of nice matching items there. I just realised how well it goes. For my holiday, and also for walking, because that hat, I've got a lot of jazzy hats, but when I'm walking with my rambling group, I don't really want the jazzy hat, I want a plain hat. So yeah, I'm very happy with those. So those are two things I really wanted to make this week, and I did. Now, a couple of videos ago, I talked about the fact my Juki machine doesn't like cheaper threads. So I've had a big clear out this week, and I'll move the camera and then you can see. So as you can see, I've now got 3 racks there. One of them was a spare rack I had anyway. So instead of having, do you remember how it used to have all those messy dangly bits at the bottom? I've moved all those onto the spare rack. So they're things that people have sent me in the past and odd things. So that's on the end. And I've got the one with the colours, that's be the Gutermann and some moon thread, because what I didn't realise is a lot of thread I was using wasn't even branded thread. It was obviously really cheap thread. So no wonder my Juki didn't like it, or any machine. So I've kept that all for hand sewing, haven't thrown them away. So I've got my colours here, have fun sorting those, and then I've got the boring colours there, the useful colours, not boring colours. So doesn't that look better? It looks so much better to me. When I'm sat sewing here looking at that, so much nicer. So I'm back in normal position. Just show you a couple of quick things. Something ridiculous I learnt this week. Anybody use one of these? Purple Thang, or whatever version of it. I just happened to be watching that video on how to make that bum bag or fanny pack. And what I didn't realise is this bit here is exactly 1/4 inch. So you can use that for measuring 1/4 inch when you sew. It does say 1/4 on it. Never twigged at all that that was 1/4 inch. So another useful thing. These are brilliant. These are absolutely brilliant. You can use them so for like points or thread something through. Oh, brilliant. Get yourself one of these. They're dirt cheap. The other thing I was going to say is I've had a lot of new subscribers recently, and I always need to do this. About once a year I do this. I explain what this is in my title. This, if you see my thumbnail title or Sew Now, So Carole, this is what's included. And it's not a cactus, it's a pincushion. And it's the very first thing I made, which is incredible that I still have it. It's by pure chance that I still have it. As you can see, sewing was brilliant. I made this when I was 8 though, so let's just ignore all that. As you can see, this is not a colour of felt you would buy these days. So these were, as I said, once a year I say this, these were the 2 books I had when I was about 8, and I still have them, and oh do I treasure these books, because that pincushion was one of the first things I made out of this. I still want to make another, make him a little friend, but I'd be gutted if I lost this. So yeah, these books are just, that if you grew up in the UK in the 1970s, you'll probably recognise those. But that was just to explain what that is and why I still use it in pictures and my thumbnail, and how important it is to me. So let's have a quick crochet update, and if you're not interested in this, I'll try and put timestamps down below so you can whiz past the crochet, but it's actually always good for a laugh because I won't be holding up anything perfect because this is me and I bodge stuff. So where were we last week? This is the Sirdar crochet along it's a summer picnic blanket, which is actually way bigger than I imagined it would be. So I was a bit disgruntled last week, but I'm on track now. The reason I'm on track is because I sprained my ankle again this week. Now, I did this back in November. I was running and I went over on my ankle and pulled something or tweaked something, and it's taken me about 6 months to recover from it. So I've been doing bits, and obviously I still walk, and I've been getting back into running. So Monday morning I went for a run and it was amazing, and the weather was lovely, and I did a really good run, did a massive hill, just getting back to the car park, and I went over on my ankle again. I know, it's my own fault. I should just sit on the sofa. But yeah, so what does that mean? It meant I had a lot of time where I had to put my ankle up this week. So what can you do? You can go crochet. So I've caught up. Very long story that was. Right, so this is the first massive bit. That was week 1. All these have to be weaved in. I've kept them and not done them yet for a reason, because we're away this weekend, and what a perfect job to sit doing. So that's that. Week 2 is this. I've started week 3 on it actually, so it's a bit bigger than it should be. So this is meant to be like a watermelon, and the pips and the whole, I mean, it's quite cool. I'm holding it the wrong way. It's quite cool because it's got like these bubbles here. Now, I've done the bubbles before. I did if I find the picture I'll put it in, but it was these bubbles in the shape of Mickey Mouses on blankets for my younger grandsons. So I have done that before, so that was good. I knew how effective that was. So that is week 2, and then you had to make some oranges, and I'm sure they're way bigger than they should be. But yeah, they've got to have the bit in the middle to make them look a bit better. But at the moment they just look like little berets. So yeah, I'm sure you'll see another vlogger, perhaps the lovely Rachael from the French Seams, talking and showing hers, which is on point, as I would say, absolutely perfect. For me, I have to bodge. When I started week 3, you had to add on to what should have been 170 stitches. I had about 176, so I had to bodge it all the way along. But that's me, because it's not going to matter. When you give it to that person, or you hold it up, or do whatever you're doing with it, it's really not going to matter. Just the fact you've bodged it slightly. I never go for perfection. I heard somewhere the most amazing saying: perfection should be the direction, not the destination. Isn't that amazing? So in other words, you're aiming for perfection, but if you don't get it, it doesn't matter. It's not the destination, it's not the finish point. So you're working for your best, but it doesn't matter, because there's no such thing as perfect, is there? Now, I'm filming this on a Thursday lunchtime. There is nobody else in the house, and I am desperate to do the draw for the Burda Patterns. I had so many responses and comments last week entering for the Burda trousers, the 2 patterns I'm going to give away. I'm thrilled that I haven't put you off that Burda pattern by the ones I make. But I've got nobody in the house to do the draw. So I'm going to insert now a clip that will be filmed later when my husband comes back for him to do the draw, because it would be wrong if I just did it myself. I do it very old school with the bits of paper, so I want him there. So I'm going to put a clip in now. So in advance, I'm going to say congratulations to both winners. So husband is now home from work, so I can include this bit of footage. First of all, we're going to do the draw for Burda 6534, which was the smaller sizes. There was 105 entries for this one. Unbelievable. And I thought I'd be topical and use what I made this week, which is literally a hat. So if you can pull one out of there, please. This is really, you can read my writing, this is.
That could be a challenge. So the winner, Elsie Stewart.
Elise Stewart.
5416. Apologies, Elise.
So there we go. I'll prove it. I'll write it down below anyway. So that was for Burda 6534. And the other one I had 43 entries for. So that was Burda 6951. And I put it in my other thing I've made this week. So if you can pull this one
I haven't seen
out.
any of these. I've been away.
And it is
Kathy Childers 9397.
There we go. Kathy Childers. There we go. Congratulations, both of you. My email address will be in the description box down below if you just send me an email with your details.
Congratulations both.
Thanks,
Nice to see you. Bye.
Now, I got some fabric wheel news. I think it's time to bring it back. I finished it at the beginning of March and I'd like to do some summer fabrics, so we need to get cracking on this, don't we? So I think the fabric wheel will be back next week. Quite excited to have it back. I know it's getting old school now, and I think this will be about the 5th series I've done, 4th or 5th. But yeah, I need the fabric wheel back in my life to get rid of some of these fabrics, because I'm just going through them, bypassing them as always. So that hopefully will come back next week. We're going away in the second week of June, and time is ticking now. Next week is half-term holidays, and I'm doing a lot of babysitting next week. 3 days of next week I'm babysitting, so I'm not going to have much time to sew, and then I've only got kind of 1 week, so time is ticking for me to do some holiday sewing. What I would really like to do is some sewing for Chris. So the next 7 days I'd like to do some sewing for my husband. I would like to make him another pair of these, and I made these in a grey linen for him couple of years ago. That's Simplicity 9795. I got some black linen and I would like to make him another pair because they're looking quite tired already. I'd like to have a go at that. And also he's put in a request for some more t-shirts. Now I do the Lutterlow pattern drawing system, and these are some t-shirts I made for him last year using it. The shape worked out really well on him. Fabric was gorgeous. It's like a melange fabric from a Minerva cotton jersey, their core range. It's really lovely, and he'd like a couple more of these. What I did on there actually for him is do on the embroidery machine like a little monogram, so they weren't completely plain. So this is a C for Chris, and then there's a 65 in the middle. So that was the year he was born. Hence he's 60 this year. So I've got a couple more colours. He just wanted them dark. I've got like this blue, comes out lighter on camera, and this kind of this really nice colour, isn't it? It's like a, I don't know, petrol-y colour. I don't know what colour you call that. So those I'd like to make, but that was a Lutterlow pattern. If I just show you, it's just that one there, just a plain t-shirt. But because of the drawing system and the way you draw it out and use the measurements, it worked out a really nice size for him. So those are the things I'd like to do in the next week, really do a bit of holiday sewing for Chris. So life. We are going to go away this weekend. It's a bank holiday in the UK, might be in other countries as well, not sure. But actually on Sunday it's my birthday. So we're all going down to the holiday home. My daughter and her family are going to come, just stay for one night as well. So it's all going to be very manic and full, but hopefully the weather will stay dry on Sunday. The weather in the UK has broken now. We've got some rain back, but to be honest, we needed it, and we had an amazing spring. So hopefully it'll be dry on my birthday anyway. But so that's what we will be doing this weekend. The photos I'm going to put in, as I think I said a couple of weeks ago, I'm a week behind in my photos, but I'm going to put just a couple of photos from my week last week when I was down there with my parents. The sea was beautiful, so I'm going to give you about 30 seconds of sea footage and just relax and listen to that sea, because it's just calming. We all need that, don't we? So yeah, I'm going to put those photos in. We're going down to the holiday home this weekend as well, so I don't know what photos I'm going to give you, because there's a limit to how many different things I can take photos of. Plus I put photos in of my birthday presents instead. So that is what we're up to this weekend, and a bit of life. So that is it for this week's hashtag Friday Sews. Thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations to the winner. That as I'm filming this, I have literally no idea who's won, but congratulations to you anyway. Just if don't forget in the comment, or if I'll put my email address down the bottom of the description box so you can send me an email with your details. Thank you as ever for all your wonderful comments. You're so kind, and I'm still here after 3 years, which I'm thrilled at, because as I've said to you a lot in the comments, I just sit talking to an iPad and just upload that video and just hope that people are going to watch, and then I really feel we're chatting, that I'm not just sat chatting to myself. So that's amazing. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Hope the weather's fine. Hope you can do whatever craft that you're into, and have a wonderful week ahead. See you soon. Bye bye for now.